Analysis.
Sam, what slice of delicious music have you got lined up for us this week?
I'm going to melt right into your ear holes a piece called When the Earth Stands Still. It's a choral piece I came across when I ventured north.
Islington? Or did you get as far as Finsbury Park?
Tim, I actually ventured outside the M25 to sit in on a rehearsal with the Halle Youth Choir.
I'm sure they appreciated meeting the metropolitan London elite in person. Who's the piece by?
It's written by Don MacDonald, a composer currently living in Canada, who works across a variety of genres as a composer, educator, producer and conductor. It sounds like this.
Come listen in the silence of the moment before rain comes down. There's a deep sigh in the quiet of the forest and the tall trees' crown. Now hold me, will you take the time to hold me and embrace the chill? Or miss me, will you take the
When I emailed him, Don said the piece was written for his wife Alison Girvan's youth choir and was deliberately inspired by how contemporary singer-songwriters use their own lyrics and the kind of forms that we come across in those popular songs. It was released on the 2017 album Breath, on which both he and his wife sing every single part in a sort of Jacob Collier multi-tracking Grammy-friendly style.
And congratulations to Jacob on his 2 recent wins. Red. Tell us a bit more about what it's like.
When the Earth Stood Still is mostly homophonic. All the 4 voice parts move together in lockstep. When people get those part songs right, it's very effective, if you think about like Finzi's Robert Bridges pieces, because it's like a soloist in harmony with themselves, especially if it's multi-tracked. It's in a compound time with 3 subdivisions per big beat, what I've heard people in New Orleans call Big 4, or was referred to in the monasteries as tempus perfectum, perfect time, which sounds a bit like this, rather than tempus imperfectum, or presumably in New Orleans lingo, less Big 4.
Does Tempus Perfectum have 3 bits because of the Holy Trinity, perchance?
That's a very good guess, Tim. It's as good as I've got.
So, When the Earth Stood Still is a part song in compound time. Surely there's more to it than that, though.
There certainly is. At that Halle rehearsal, they sang several pieces, but When the Earth Stood Still really stuck in my brain and noodled away, so I got to thinking about why I found it effective. As well as its pleasing melodic shapes, there are 3 particular earworms that have been bouncing around in the Popple brain for some time. Here's the first.
There's a deep sigh in the quiet of the forest.
It's a hemiola.
It's not when you lift something too heavy, is it?
No, that's a hernia, Tim. The hemiola is a way of creating a change in the rhythmic swing of the piece. It was famously used by our second favourite Leonard, Mr. Bernstein, in West Side Story.
I like to be in America. Okay, by me in America.
Oh, Mr. Nimoy.
We have been getting along fine in our compound time with 2 groups of 3 per bar sounding like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The hemiola regroups them into 3 pairs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Basically a quick mid-piece switch from perfectum to imperfectum.
Here it is in Don's piece again, with added T's in the text to highlight it.
Hold me, will you take the time to hold me and embrace?
Once that dance has been built up, there's another great rhythmic technique deployed, the second of my favourite earworms, cross rhythms.
I'm furious!
Not that kind?
No, a cross rhythm is just any number of beats against any other number of beats in a bar. Here we've got 3 against 2, which sounds like this is dog food. This is dog food. This is dog food. The 2 in the bar is this, dog, this, dog. And the 3 is this is food, this is food. But this is dog food, this is dog food, has a rhythmic tension that's very satisfying, as well as being the kind of insult that will get you thrown out of some dinner parties if you keep practicing it under your breath.
Here's what it sounds like in When the Earth Stood Still.
'Cause there's no use running, 'cause the storm's still coming.
For those of us hoping to combine rhythmic patterns in our day-to-day life, I don't suppose you got a nifty way of working out any cross rhythms using a children's maths game, have you?
How fortunate you should ask, Tim. Do you remember Fizzbuzz?
Let's assume I've forgotten.
Okay, so you go round the circle counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then every multiple of 3 becomes fizz. 1, 2, fizz. And any multiple of 5 becomes buzz.
1, 2, fizz, 4, buzz, fizz.
Exactly. When you reach the first multiple of 3 and 5, you've got fizz buzz and a whole bar of your cross rhythm. There will be 3 buzzes and 5 fizzes in that bar. 3 against 5 sounds really hard to process in your head, but if you count fizz buzz, things become much more doable. Fizz buzz 1, 2, fizz 4, buzz, fizz 7, 8, fizz, buzz 11, fizz 13, 14, fizz buzz 1, 2, fizz 4, buzz, fizz 7, 8, fizz, buzz 11, fizz 13, 14, fizz buzz. Fizz, buzz, fizz, fizz, buzz, fizz, fizz, buzz. Just change what you're multiplying and that can be your cross rhythm.
I'm furious!
And third, I want to talk about seconds.
Very witty.
Whereas the other 2 factors are rhythmic dissonances, this is a tonal one, MacDonald's frequent use of second chords. Seconds are a conventional major triad, degrees 1, 3 and 5 on the scale, but with an added second.
Ooh, it feels all tingly.
Doesn't it? Disney songwriter Alan Menken used them a lot during the 90s when he was getting it absolutely right on the reg. What is that chord, and why does it? What's the word? Yearn. It's technically a dissonance, but the note that the second would resolve down to, the first degree of the scale, is already present in the chord.
Here it is in the opening of When the Earth Stood Still.
That second just sits there glowing, doesn't it? You might also hear it as a ninth. 1, 3, 5, 9. Which to me sounds really aspirational, reaching, outgrowing its surroundings. That's why it's a chord that worked so well if you're a Disney princess, mermaid, lion, Greek myth, cross-dressing warrior daughter of a Chinese aristocrat, setting off on an adventure.
You're trying to go somewhere new, but leaving something stable.
I think that's why this piece resonated with me so much in that particular rehearsal with the Halle kids. All these young musicians were there at the start of their journeys, full of hope about where it will take them, all making music with real ambition and energy. This piece and those chords fit them especially well.